Hey folks, it's Steve in Ukraine, near Zaporozhye. Build and grow for Ukraine. If you can help us with some donations, doesn't have to be a lot, it goes a long way here. Well, it turned out that I had to look at the car because an error message came up on the screen saying that the performance was limited. And I've looked that up. And I've had to become a little bit of a YouTube mechanic and see if it's something that I could fix relatively inexpensively myself. And the first thing that they suggest is look at air. So the air comes in, gets sucked in through here, goes through a filter. You have these two mass airflow sensors, and then it gets piped around to turbos and with the fuel mix, etc. So there's a turbo down there and there's a turbo here apparently, although I hope I never have to look at one. So this stuff is good because it's an air, it cleans sensors. So I washed the filter box, it was full of bugs and rubbish. I washed the filter, I cleaned these two, they are in line to these two tubes, and this sensor here is to do with airflow, and that was relatively easy. I had the tools around that I could get on with that, but when I took this off, this cover off here, this has a big plastic cover, to reveal this, to be able to clean it, I came to this. And this is likely the cause of the problem. So these are the manifolds. There's one there, because it's a V6. There's one there, there's one here. And it's very likely that what has happened is, according to YouTube mechanics, that there's a hole in these are made of plastic, incredibly, and there's a split in it somewhere, and they split kind of where they are made, where they're manufactured here. So it's very likely that this is the same as the other one. And they talk about taking the body off this vehicle in order to do that, but I don't know. I mean, there it is. That's where it ends. This bit here. This may possibly be something I can do myself. I need to look into it. But so the problem is that when I have noticed in the past few weeks that it's consuming more diesel. It's slightly improved since I cleaned these and I cleaned this and I cleaned out the airbox, but it's pretty bad. This vehicle should be able to do average about 7 to 8 litres per 100 kilometres, especially on a long run, maybe even less in a long run. But it's not doing that. It's doing about 10, 11 or 12. The sort of driving I'm doing lately is mixed urban and highway to get to the city from here. But this is something that I have to look at next, so I need to get one of these. And all of this stuff here, all of this air stuff, doesn't look as though it's too difficult to disconnect and clean. There's like a butterfly thing. I mean, get me sounding like I know what I'm doing. There's like a butterfly thing here. It moves like that, and that's depending on, you can imagine this is a 3-litre V6, so this sucks in a lot of air. It must be incredible. And these being plastic, they can't cope with the turbo pressure. So you have one turbo, I think it's this one, that's working all the time. And then you have the other one is secondary when you go for higher revs. So eek, folks. I've got to either try and come up with hundreds of dollars, or I got to try and do it myself. It has to be done because, of course, it's going to wreck the vehicle, and that's